What's up, dudes? Kublikon here, and welcome back to Fallout 4 Automatron DLC, where we are flying in, checking out the wasteland, and listen to those crickets. Wow, I have not spent a lot of time in these little marshlands of Fallout 4, where we are finishing up some of the last Automatron DLC missions. As you can see, we are currently flying down into our character in the darkness and lightness, dressed as the Mechanist, which is pretty fun to do. We have Ada, the Robobrain weird monstrosity build that we just made earlier, and I think she looks ridiculous, but it's super fun to have weird looking robot friends. Anyway, as we explore this wasteland trying to figure out our next location, it's definitely becoming pretty clear that our character needed a little bump in difficulty, which is something we did do. We gave our character a little bit of a bump, and we just went up against a bunch of Mirelurks who didn't wipe the floor with us, but we struggled against. I was losing health pretty quickly. I dropped it. It was a harder fight dealing with these Mirelurks than it was to deal with the actual Mechanist herself. I'm okay with that. I just was about to be like, is that a spoiler? No, it's on show. If you're watching this, you saw that episode. Anyway, here are more of the robots that we need to be taken out. And I learned something recently. If you press, hold on, if I get a gun out, I don't have a gun. Let me get a gun real quick. If I get a gun out and do this, I can hack robots from afar. Yeah, I don't have to get up close. I can hack this dude and say, initiate shutdown. I can turn things off from afar now if I use this gun and point at it. I'm just so surprised by this. I knew I could hack, and I know that they have the ability to have characters who, check this out, hack this guy from afar, initiate self-destruct. How cool is this? Like, this is such a nice way to fight. It's just insane to me to think about how I missed out on this incredible opportunity to do some really cool things. But because we just immediately took away our ability to use guns and the like, we lost this ability to hack people from afar. Now actually it turns out that you're missing your legs, eh? So you're just stuck down there. Oh, we'll take him out and see what weapon he has for us. Combat chest piece. That's okay. Not necessarily the coolest thing ever, but it's not bad. Anyway, so we upped our difficulty last episode, which ended up being really good because, as you can see, I'm actually getting hurt now and can't really just walk up and be as stupid about it anymore. I gotta have to use cover. I gotta be a little bit smarter about how I do this. So anyway, now as we're finishing up these robot missions, I'm looking at this situation where we also had a request to do the USS Constitution, another robot mission. That would be pretty fun. So I'm up for doing that. Let's go ahead and hop on back to the Mechanist and turn in this mission. Okay, a thing I appreciate is that the fast travel point takes you directly into the Mechanist lair. It's kind of, if you guys have played or read any of the loading messages that talk about the Institute, they describe the fact that the Institute you can fast travel to through like a teleport. It's technically an inside place. It turns out that the Mechanist, you kind of enter the same way, that they do allow you to fast travel directly into it. Glad to hear that, Ada. Now let's talk to the Mechanist and find out a little bit more about, does she have any more missions that she wants us to do related to the robot situation? And I think I put my robot in the way, so I can't get past. I found a way. Hey, Isabel.
Isabel, are you tracking any more of your rogue bots?
Let me just wake you up from your sleeping. God, you're so tired.
Yes, I can. I mean, I am. I'll locate one for you.
Cool, that sounds great. Now, any more out there?
Do you think there are any more out there?
Well, it's hard to say. I wasn't keeping very close track of how many I released during my Mechanist phase. Let me see. Yes, I'm picking up a signal. Be careful.
I wonder if this is gonna turn into like a Ada is ridiculous. I wonder if this is going to turn into a situation where it's like the Minutemen, where I go to certain locations, I work with these, take out these opponents and whatnot, and then as we're doing so, it turns into this.
Should tip the balance of things in our favor.
Thank you, Ada. And then if it turns into something different. You know, it's also interesting, she hasn't mentioned the fact that Sparks is still here dead. Okay, Jezebel. I mentioned that I killed Sparks last episode, so here is Sparks now. I hope that you don't mind the fact that he's still just a giant ball of blarg, so I'm gonna put him right over here. He seems a little heavy, so I'm gonna try again. Put him right over. All right, Isabel, what do you think about Sparks? Can you fix him? Or is he dead forever and now you hate me? Make your choice. I'm kidding. Don't worry about it. Sorry about the animal.
Be careful out there. With some of the modifications I added, the bots can be a little dangerous.
Okay, so I guess it really doesn't matter. So another thing that I did not really notice until now was that she had robo brains here. Not just as these guys, but also as these dudes. I'm assuming providing extra processing power and maybe RAM and that kind of thing in order to run the facility. Including these dudes are just replacing human beings, so it's kind of an interesting change. There's a robo brain on the ground. I thought these guys might actually be loaded into each other, but it's possible that these are just backups too. Okay, so I'd done a little bit of selling and prepping and getting our character relatively into a position that would allow them to move without being overweight outside of the armor. Get some extra caps and the like, and I also thought I would come back to Fort Hagen specifically because the next robots that we're going after is actually this direction, and I think this will be the last robot that we try actually going for, because if it turns out that this is truly just like the Minutemen where I'm constantly going after rogue robot, rogue robot, rogue robot, I mean, it's fun, but it's not exactly the greatest thing ever to do. Now in this case, I expected to come back here and see that all the raiders had respawned, but it hasn't actually been enough days for the raiders to respawn. Which is actually pretty important to think about, because this is the best place to find some of the robot helmets that are worn. So in that case, it turns out that this really isn't a spot to go, so I think I'm just gonna go running off and hunting this other robot that we have to get after. So, things about this other robot, I'm going to try to beat it, not with guns, mind you, but with the ability to aim at it and hack it from afar. It's possible that that was actually a glitch, but other abilities like the Animal Friend or the Wasteland Whisperer or the ability to aim at a human being and do the same thing all go off of that aiming down the gun rule. So the idea that the robot hacking would work the same way isn't that crazy from a mechanic game standpoint. It is pretty crazy from the point of view of Boatfly. Oh, this is where one of our drug character has gone to. I'm forgetting her name at the moment, just as we were running through. But yeah, it's this blood area that's here. Hey, Blowfly. She blew up from the Mesmatron thing. Oh well. Oh yeah, there's also the. Maybe we will go unlock some of these places. Now we'll continue with the rogue and getting out the robots and the like. But anyway, it makes sense as a mechanics-wise because you want characters who are doing the robotic thing to be able to basically create that perfect passive player, is the word I want to use. The passive player will be able to aim and quiet robots or cause them to explode from afar. But from an actual utility standpoint, that is odd. I mean, you see the character animate the Pip-Boy being put into the robot. So it really doesn't make sense. Like a human being, it is understandable that, you know, it'd say freeze. Wasteland Whisperer, I mean, I guess you whistle, you whisper, I don't know. I mean, Animal Friend, I'm sure there's similar things in that way. That actually, I've had Animal Friend on another one of my characters, and he also whispers.
I suggest we take as much as we can carry.
He'll like whisper it, or he'll go, whoa boy, or something like that. Kind of general animal speak, I guess is how I would put it. And it's something that just doesn't make sense with the robot. You know, like, you're not talking to the robot, you're not saying execute order 7227 or something. Like, it's very much the animation of putting in the Pip-Boy. And that's kind of a messed up, I guess messed up is the wrong term. It feels like a glitch. It feels like an afterthought that was then maintained, and they're like, oh crap, like how do we balance this? Because it is less balanced. I would rather be able to, from afar, tell a Deathclaw to stay still, or a Yao guy or whatever I'm about to be attacked by right now to chillax. But the robot, apparently, I don't have to really worry too much about that. Oh, that guy's just getting demolished. I mean, we do have some pretty powerful robot buddy here, so it's understandable. I wonder if we should turn to a tank at any point. I'm not 100% on board with that, but it would be pretty fun. Checking out a couple houses on the way to our rogue robot. Oh, it's got some raiders in it, I guess. I'm hearing shooting from Ada. A very stupid raider who apparently is already convinced I'm not here anymore. Very good. I think this is actually an okay time for me to start talking a little bit about survival mode. Specifically, oh, do you jump down? That's awesome. I'm excited about trying survival mode. It is currently out of, in beta right now. It's existing, so I could play it right now. And I'm planning to actually do some playthroughs of it. I mentioned last episode too that I was excited about it and that I was unsure on how to actually do survival when we do a lot of permadeath. And this, from what I've read about it and watched videos on, people describe it very much the Dark Souls way, which is how I also talked about it, which I thought would make it cool and extra fun because you have this feeling of success that you get in Dark Souls that is amazing when playing. It is changing up the whole process of permadeath though. But I mean, the idea of really getting a roleplay or discovering a character is amazing to me and how the survival would work. But the problem once again goes back to the idea that you die so quickly in survival mode. People talked about you dying multiple times to get through the same part. And then also you have to be careful in survival mode too. Which is, I mean, we're careful in the permadeaths that we do now. Oh, it's a rocket ship. It's exactly like our room. That's kind of cute. I mean, our room as in our house that we have back in Sanctuary. And the tree that fell onto it. Oh, that's really cool. I mean, cool in a sad way. Very pretty architecture and design, story-wise. Anyway, back to the survival talk. The idea of making these characters come across is a really cool thing to me. But the problem I'm running into is the fast dying. And so if I want to do it, it's going to become more like a role play, or it's going to have some different rules, and I'm not 100% sure how to do it. And I was imagining that we'd actually take our current character Jesse, current permadeath character Jesse, and maybe change it up so now it's actually not necessarily a permadeath role play. I mean, she's already beaten her long-term goal. Now we've moved on to the secondary goal with the character. So I could see her doing this survival mode just to kind of as our experimentation, see how it feels. And then we can also use that character since they're established, and we can kind of just get the feeling of what it would be like. Plus we have a partner in that, we have a goal, which would be kind of cool, which fits with the character. We have a character to play a role as well, and it's one that we know, so it could definitely fit. I don't know how powerful these things would go. All right, here we got our tank bot. Let's check. Okay, I'm really looking forward to doing this. We're gonna pull out, oh, I sold some stuff, and I might have, so we're gonna use the Assaultron's head as our ability. Initiate self-destruct. I'm gonna shoot it real quick. Oh.
Let's take them out.
Let's shoot it. Oh, there it goes. So this head actually charges up every time you reload it. So it gets stronger, stronger, and stronger. And then eventually releases a big radiation shot. I'm gonna put it down for now. We're not really using it. Oh, I can punch with my hands. That's very cool. So we just destroyed this robot. That was the entire thing. We hacked it from afar. It was really easy. Pretty, gotta say, disappointing in a way in the challenge. Alright, so now that we've done this robot mission, I think we're gonna do the USS Constitution and continue on discovering that bit since I had a request to do it. Okay, so to try to up the ante a little bit, I wanna do this without a suit. I wanna have us in kind of the weakest position that we would typically be to try to make this a little bit of a tougher experience. We have our sword, which will work well with sneaking. We have our sledge, which will work well in mid-fight. And now we can actually do this mission related to our character, and we're also the Mechanist, so it makes sense that we're going to be helping out the robots. Okay, so I had problems getting up to the USS Constitution last time, remember that? And I find my way to the USS Constitution underhatch. Now this is how you get up here, so that everyone else can know. I'm gonna just do this quick jog through so you can see what's going on. So you come on down through here. This is the part that I got confused. There's this little mound of debris that you can walk up, and then it brings you to the second level. That second level is then where you're able to then see, oh, there's some stairs. I see the stairs, you run up, and voila, you're now at the USS Constitution.
The fumes here are distressingly noxious.
Alright, so welcome to the USS Constitution, where apparently the fumes are distressingly nauseous. Or noxious. I don't know. Nauseous sounds different. Anyway, we have our character as the Mechanist now, running around with our Robo-Brain Ada. And I'm going to now go... not be able to move up that way. Man, this is ridiculous that
This is the captain speaking. We're taking on an allied soldier. Clear the berth, disable defenses, make way.
Huh. Okay.
Overdue for maintenance.
I see that would be a problem. Hello? This is not the captain, and I'm looking for the captain. I can't go up those stairs.
Midshipman, stand down. Stand down, I say. This soldier is a guest on our vessel. Please afford him all appropriate courtesies.
Man, this is a pretty well defended spot, that's for sure. I would be able to get through here because, as we mentioned, I'm able to turn people, specifically the robots, against themselves from afar. Still, I'm also digging all the cannons that they have up here.
Patrolling.
It's a pretty cute design. Oh, hello, police bot.
Identified. Intruder. Intruder.
Mr. First Mate, this is the captain. This soldier is no intruder.
Requesting permission to use lethal force.
Calm down.
Whoa, easy there.
Unable to comply.
Stand down. That's an order. And for God's sake, use the accent.
I, Captain, standing down.
For God's sake, use the accent. That has got to be my favorite addition to this.
It's an honor to crew such a storied vessel. From the top deck, one can spot other robots from the Commonwealth, floating, listless, without purpose, but not us.
Oh, this is pretty cool. I am happy to be here. Going up to Charleston.
This area could withstand a sustained heavy assault. Impressive.
I bet it could. A lot of cannons, got a lot of robots, got a lot of turrets. Is this the captain who says, use the damn accent? Because that's got it. You have a hat!
Hey, Captain.
I'll have none of your lip, Mr. Navigator. Have the crow's nest scan 2 points off the port bow. Jump to it.
Aye, Captain.
Our soldier has arrived. I trust the first mate didn't give you too hard a time. Been too long since we've seen the Congressional Army.
Thanks! Wow!
Thanks for calling him off me.
The scan shows you have the proper number of appendages still, so all is well. I am Captain Ironsides, commander of the USS Constitution. You visit this fine vessel in trying times. Be calm these long years on her airy perch. Damn you, Weatherby Savings and Loan! I spit at you.
What? Humor him!
A sad state of affairs for such a historic ship.
On that, we are in agreement. What vexes me most is my inability to assist in the war effort. My gun decks have naught but Morats and ne'er-do-wells as targets.
Oh, how
Enough
can I help?
pleasantries. The Constitution has systems that need repairs to carry out its mission.
You know, our character would probably say I'll help, but I'm really curious about a reward.
If I help you, I expect part of the payment up front.
For your services, you will get your
Damn
fair
it.
share of the prize money at the end of the voyage, the same as the rest of the crew. I consider this matter resolved. Consult with the bosun and Mr. Navigator. They will relay your instructions. Dismissed. Look lively, lads. Scavengers approach. Soldier, man the cannons. Kill them only as a last resort. A few warning shots usually suffice to scare that rabbit off. The cannons
Yeah,
are ready.
sure.
Fire at will. Blast them with everything we've got.
Circuit breaker. Wow! And scavengers attack these guys. Circuit breaker again!
And the turrets, show them what we're made of.
Oh, it only fires once? Oh, that's really disappointing. I can't really do much from up here. I guess I'll jump on down, and that should be some of our finishing touches. All right. I love how our suit of armor was in the line of fire of that volley from the cannons. A little broken, I suspect, but broadside them, soldier. Oh, that is cool. Is this? Oh, so these are all the cannons that fired. Yeah, Ada, go kick some butt. I like that. All right, good, very good. So, dudes, I think we will end the episode here. The Mechanist is now a soldier on the ship.
They've struck their colors. Well done, men.
Sweet. I like this. This is a pretty cool spot. I'm excited for this mission. So, dudes, we'll finish it up. Thank you so much for watching. It was a total joy to have you here. We're going to figure out the survival thing. We're going to figure out what we're doing with the rest of Kublai Khan. I'm liking this USS Constitution bit right now. I'm excited. Can't wait to see what happens more. So anyway, thank you so much for being here. May the ground rise to meet your feet. May the wind always be at your back. And may the sun shine warmly on your sexy, sexy face. Dudes, see you later. Bye.